Have you ever wondered why your sinus problems suddenly started after your mid-40s? Maybe you wake up with pressure behind your eyes. Maybe your nose feels blocked, even though you're not sick. Maybe perfumes feel stronger, the air feels harsher, or you catch yourself breathing through your mouth at night, something you never used to do. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. A 2023 review in the Journal of Women's Health found that falling and fluctuating estrogen levels can change how the tissues inside your nose and sinuses behave. Your hormones, yes, the same ones that shift during perimenopause and menopause, can influence how you breathe, how your sinuses drain, and the pressure you feel behind your forehead. It's a connection almost no one expects, but once you hear it, everything begins to make sense. Today, we're going to make this confusing chapter beautifully clear. You'll learn what's happening inside your nose, why it begins around 45, why nights feel worse, and most importantly, what you can do to feel better. Let's start with the story your sinuses have been trying to tell you. Imagine waking up early in the morning. The room is quiet, the light is soft, and for a moment, everything feels normal. But as soon as you sit up, you feel that familiar heaviness, a pressure behind your eyes or across your forehead that makes the world feel a little foggy. You blow your nose, but nothing really clears. You breathe deeply, but one side opens while the other seems to close. You clear your throat more often. Maybe you sound slightly nasal when you speak. So you think, allergies? Another sinus infection? Maybe it's the weather. But nothing fully develops into an infection, and nothing fully goes away either. It becomes a recurring loop, a kind of sinus limbo. And what's interesting is that this often starts around the same time other subtle changes begin to show. Your sleep becomes lighter, your temperature regulation feels unpredictable, your periods become irregular, your stress feels heavier and harder to shake off. Most women expect hot flashes. Most expect mood shifts. Almost no one expects sinus changes. Yet, the tissues inside your nose are incredibly sensitive, more sensitive to hormones than most people realize. This is where the real story begins. Think of the soft lining inside your nose as a cushioned, hydrated, protective layer. Its job is simple: filter the air, stay moist, and help you breathe comfortably without thinking about it. And this lining relies on estrogen, not in huge amounts, but enough to stay stable and calm. When estrogen drops or fluctuates in perimenopause and menopause, this tissue begins to change in very specific ways. It becomes drier, the moisture level drops, making air feel harsher and more irritating. Rooms with heating, air conditioning, or low humidity suddenly feel uncomfortable. It becomes thinner. A thinner lining provides less protection, so dust, perfume, cold air, and mild allergens trigger reactions more easily. It becomes more sensitive. Scents that never bothered you before now feel overwhelming. A room slightly too warm suddenly feels suffocating. A small draft can irritate your nose instantly. It becomes more reactive. The tissue swells or tightens quickly, creating pressure, congestion, or that blocked but not sick feeling. These changes match what millions of women describe, and they are not random. They're physiological responses to shifting hormones. A 2018 review in Allergy and Rhinology showed that estrogen helps regulate mucus production, inflammation, and even blood flow in the nose. When estrogen declines, the system becomes unpredictable. Dry eyes, dry skin, vaginal dryness, all are related to the same mechanism. And yes, your sinuses belong to that same hormonal network. Before we move on, there's one more piece of this story that often makes everything click. Estrogen doesn't just support your cycle or temperature. It quietly helps maintain the health of mucous membranes all throughout your body, including your nose and sinuses. Estrogen helps these tissues stay moist, thick, and resilient, well supplied with blood and stable instead of irritated. When estrogen drops or fluctuates wildly, exactly what happens in perimenopause, these tissues naturally become drier, thinner, and far more reactive. This is well documented. A review in the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry and Molecular Biology found estrogen receptors throughout nasal and sinus mucosa. A Maturitas review highlighted that declining estrogen correlates with mucosal dryness in multiple areas during midlife. This is also why some clinicians discuss hormone therapy, HRT, as one possible option for dryness-related symptoms. Not because it fixes everything and not suitable for everyone, but because systemic estrogen naturally supports mucous membranes. Knowing this doesn't mean you need HRT. It simply means your sinus changes are not random. They're connected to a hormone that has quietly supported your tissues for decades. Now comes the timing. Perimenopause doesn't look like a gentle slope downward. It's more like a roller coaster. Estrogen spikes. It drops. It surges again. It falls unpredictably. A 2021 study in the laryngoscope showed that these hormonal swings increase nasal dryness, swelling, congestion, headaches, and facial pressure. This is why sinus issues often begin before periods stop. It's not only low estrogen, it's unstable estrogen. Some mornings the lining feels inflamed. Other days, dry. Some days, both at once. Your tissues are responding to a hormone map that keeps rewriting itself. You are not imagining this. Your body is shifting gears, and your sinuses feel every change. If your symptoms get worse at night, you're not alone. When the nasal lining becomes dry or swollen, airflow narrows. Even small changes can disturb the quality of your sleep. You may wake up more often, breathe through your mouth, snore lightly, wake up with a dry throat, and feel strangely foggy in the morning. A 2022 review in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that even slight nasal obstruction can disrupt sleep stages, especially in midlife women. When airflow narrows, the brain wakes you more easily. When your mouth dries out, micro-awakenings increase. When pressure builds at night, your body pulls itself out of deeper sleep. Combine that with fluctuating estrogen affecting melatonin, cortisol, and temperature regulation, and sleep becomes a perfect storm. Your symptoms aren't separate, they're linked. These aren't cures, and they're not meant to be quick fixes. They're gentle tools that many women find genuinely helpful as their sinuses adjust to hormonal changes. Think of them as small acts of support, ways to make daily life a little easier and a lot more comfortable. One of the simplest steps is to keep the nasal lining hydrated. A saline mist or gel can replace some of the natural moisture your hormones use to help maintain, giving the tissue a softer, calmer surface to breathe through. At night, a humidifier can make an enormous difference. By adding a little moisture to the air, it softens every breath and helps prevent the dryness that tends to build while you sleep. For many women, this alone makes the night feel less disruptive. It also helps to reduce irritants in your environment. When the lining of your nose becomes more sensitive, things like scented candles, strong perfumes, plug-in air fresheners, or very dry indoor air can trigger reactions much faster than before. Creating a calmer, cleaner space for your nose can create noticeably calmer sinuses. A warm compress is another small comfort that works surprisingly well. Placing gentle heat across your forehead or the sides of your nose can ease morning pressure and help the tissue relax after a long night. Internal hydration matters too. Drinking enough water throughout the day supports the moisture levels in your mucous membranes from the inside out, something your body increasingly relies on as estrogen shifts. Many women also notice clear patterns once they start paying attention. Sinus symptoms often flare during stressful weeks, after nights of poor sleep, when the seasons change, or during hormonal swings. Noticing your own rhythm can give you a sense of control and help you anticipate what your body needs. And finally, talk to your clinician. Not every sinus symptom is hormonal, but many are. And unless you mention the timing and the changes you've noticed, your healthcare provider might never connect your sinuses to your hormones. Your story matters. It shapes the conversation and helps guide decisions that fit your life and your body. Your sinus problems aren't random. They're not just allergies. They're not a sign of weakness. They are your body responding to a new hormonal rhythm, one that influences more than your mood or temperature. It also affects the soft, sensitive tissues inside your nose and sinuses. And once you know this, everything becomes clearer. Your congestion, your pressure, your nighttime waking, your morning fog, they're not in your head. They're in your biology. and your biology is simply shifting, adapting to a new chapter. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, I'd love to keep learning with you. Click like, hit subscribe, and join us here at the Midlife Balance Institute, where we make midlife feel lighter, clearer, and far less confusing. And tell me in the comments, have your sinus issues changed after 45? Your story might be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. Together, we make midlife make sense.